The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Monday, the 5th day of December, 2022. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by MediQuals, One Communications, and Lindos. I'm Jamal Hartman. She is Sancha Durham, and Maya Palacio will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break, brought to you by People. Sancha, how are you?
Good morning. I'm good. Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed.
Yeah, looking stellar this morning. Like, what's that? A Christmas tree in the background?
I know I had to blur my background this morning. Normally, I never have a blur on my background.
Uh-huh.
But you know what, Jamal? I have to first of all give a shout out to all the parents that on December 1st started with their Elf on the Shelf.
Oh, right.
My Elf on the Shelf bought us a Christmas tree this weekend.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Effie the elf. So Effie didn't decorate it, but here we are.
I mean, folks, you need to find an elf like Sancha, because I heard Christmas trees are kind of expensive. Her elf bought a Christmas tree. Yeah. I have some big news that I forgot to mention to all the TDH crew yesterday. Folks, today is the first day. Maya, are you tuned in? Are you all listening? Today is the first day that we are actually streaming live to the dailyhour.com, not YouTube, but the Daily Hour. We're still on YouTube, we're still on Facebook, but we're actually live on the dailyhour.com. And what's funny is I can see 3 people are tuned in on the dailyhour.com right now.
That's exciting.
Yeah, and I'm excited about it, Sancha, because one of the things is you want more control. You want to be able to embed things in the website. So I am extremely excited, and you know, I love to tell our team stuff. And I really forgot this, but yes, we are live on air on the dailyhour.com for the first time right now. So you can now just go on the website and watch us live. But again, choose where you want to watch. You can watch us on YouTube, on our website, on Facebook right now. You can listen on bcgradio.com, and there will be more places coming soon. All right. So
growing and glowing.
Yeah. We're just trying to, do a little something, make it easier for people to tune in. Greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today, as we're discussing the absentees from Parliament, along with the funds from the TA form. The Daily Play is more holiday trivia, and I think we've been tripping Sherry and Sancha up with some holiday trivia lately, folks.
I didn't get the last one. I did.
You probably did, but I got you guys twice last week. So for me, that's what I'm focused on.
Oh, so today you want to say it's a team effort. Okay.
Oh, speaking of team efforts, we haven't done this in a while. Maya, please, pretty please.
Are you gonna do a joke?
Yeah, you don't. I have a nice one. It's really, really funny today, folks. Yes or no, audience? Can I do a joke this morning, audience? Yes or no?
I say yes. It makes your day. Go ahead.
But it's supposed to make you all's day. We have a hater in the audience. Before we get into the politics stuff, here's your joke for the morning. Okay, you ready? It's funny now. All right, here we go. All right. What did the doctor say to the gingerbread man?
The doctor say to the Where's Maya? Doctor say to the gingerbread man. Something about running away. I'm sure.
What did the doctor say to the gingerbread man?
Too much sugar?
Try icing it. Get it? Icing on the gingerbread. No, no,
No,
no.
that
Icing.
listen, that went right over my head. I'm
Oh,
having a moment.
oh, oh. Sorry.
Icing.
Thank you, Nana Pam. Thank you, Hedley and Stevenson Swan. Thank you all. Thank you. I know. Okay. See, Teresa and Marie found it funny. Yeah, she found it
I
funny.
still don't get it, but moving on.
Icing on the cake and the cookie and icing of, the doctor icing a bruise or something like that. Yeah. See, Ebony Susan thought it was a good one. Adeline.
Got it.
Even Sherry thought it was funny, I think.
Okay. Well, it took me a while to get it. Okay, got it.
Sancha had a slow moment to this morning, folks.
I did.
You had one. And that doesn't mean the joke weren't funny. But look, let's jump into it because we've got some serious stuff to talk about, Sancha. We've got to go there. So on Friday, let's just go to the Royal Gazette. So the title says, House ends in farce after MPs fail to turn up despite, quote, put your sneakers on plea, end quote, plea from Speaker. All right, so a meeting of the House of Assembly ended in farce on Friday as not enough MPs returned to the chamber after lunch for the legislative session to continue. Dennis Lister, the Speaker, made repeated appeals for MPs to resume their seats so that the basic number of members needed to present, 14 out of 36, would be there to allow business to go ahead as scheduled. At one point, Mr. Lister used the live broadcast of proceedings to urge MPs to put their sneakers on and run back to the chamber. After the session resumed at 2 p.m., following the lunch break, Mr. Lister was asked by Jerian Richardson, one Bermuda Alliance deputy leader, if the required number of MPs needed to proceed with the session, known as a quorum, had been reached. Mr. Lister confirmed it had not and stated that under parliamentary rules, the necessary quorum must be achieved within 5 minutes of the session, or the session would have to be adjourned. Mr. Lister said members who are in the listening audience, in the listening air, if you are not present, I suggest you put on your sneakers and run to this direction. The Speaker told Government Whip Neville Tyrrell, you have got 5 minutes to get your members in here. And there were two bills on the agenda, which was the minimum wage and another dealing with overstays by visitors. So I'm not going to, let's just put it this way. There was a response from the PLP. The PLP branded the incident an OBA stunt. Last night, Mr. Tyrrell said, earlier today in the House of Assembly, shortly after the lunch break, the opposition whip called for a quorum in the House of Assembly. At the time of the call, there were 11 PLP MPs in the House and only one OBA MP. As the other two OBA MPs were present after lunch, left right before the OBA whip called for a quorum and didn't return when the Speaker called for a quorum. As is normal, a number of ministers had engagements during the lunch period, such as the Premier, who was still meeting with residents of St. David's, blah, blah, blah. Well, basically, what the Whip Tyrrell's saying is that blame the OBA, the six. Blame them. Now, think about what he's saying. Of 13 members, Mr. Tyrrell is saying blame the six. The question for the audience this morning, because we're going to talk about it, Sancha. I need
to gain understanding.
Yeah. Okay.
So hopefully you can help me understand.
Just tell me what you want to understand. But audience, the question is, how do you feel about politicians being absent from Parliament? How do you feel about politicians being absent from Parliament? What is it that you want to understand?
What exactly? So was it that, okay, so they didn't return after lunch, but am I hearing it? Are they saying that? Why didn't they return after lunch?
As Mr. Tyrrell said that he said that some of the ministers had engagements, and he said he used the PLP Premier leader, sorry, and Premier of Bermuda, David Burt, who was meeting with residents of St. David's who were concerned, as Maya and Tamara reported last week, about the Mediway situation, along with others, right?
But that's one person, but we do know
Oh no,
that.
he said cabinet ministers and used David as an example.
Right.
But
But
the point being is, you guys have got dirty people.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They have a lot of people that could have been there, but why are we making other engagements during the time where you're supposed to be seating? Like this is why you're being paid, right?
Yeah.
You're leading our country and you're doing the business of our country. So why do we have other engagements during this time?
You know, Sancha, when I first saw this on Friday, right? And I'm going to tie this into something that continues to happen. I got a few messages about the Bermuda Tourism Authority this weekend, right? People saying, I have never seen people who fail celebrate so much, right? And I refused to take it on, right? I said, no, I'm not doing it. And my response to that stuff is, Mr. Marshall, Larry Marshall Sr., we talked about last year. And he said, why is it always us? And my point is, you all are telling me about this BTA stuff. You tell me about this government stuff. You're unhappy with it. And so you want us to talk about it. But what are you going to do? I'm sick and tired. I'm being honest with you. And this goes for the audience as well. I'm not here for your entertainment. I'm not. I'm here to engage with you so that we can come up with solutions together. But I'm not here to discuss the BTA and government just because you're angry. We're here to discuss solutions to problems. And those solutions to those problems mean that you may have to be uncomfortable. That's the problem. Of course, a government's not going to show up and do what they're supposed to do because they know that they can get away with this stuff with you. They know the BTA, oh, who cares whether tourists are here or not? I could go have a party, masquerade or whatnot. The government is treating you in a manner that you allow them to govern. And I said it on Twitter the other day, like they're not going to do anything differently because they only do what you allow them to do. You've got to get uncomfortable. This is to everyone out there. You've got to be uncomfortable. You can't just wait on Sancha and Jamal to, say what they want and feel like, wow, you guys are not afraid to say this or you take risk or that. No, this is on you. Stop being punks. Yeah, I'm name calling this morning. It's sickening to me how weak people are. Like you want to talk. Man, we still got a $250,000 bill we're paying because Bermudians were so weak. Don't talk to me about talk.
Yeah.
Our ancestors, some of them died for you all to keep fighting. Some of them were in prison. Some of them lost everything. But the PLP, the government, the BTA, every other organization, they only do what you allow. And until you've had enough, it will continue. So don't keep sending me messages. Oh, you saw this or that? Because at the end of the day, if you are not prepared to fight for yourself, I told you all back when David Burt, Premier of Bermuda, was on in June. If you ain't prepared to fight for yourself, nobody's going to want to fight with or for you. I'm sorry, Sandra. Little rant there. I'm just tired.
No, I actually enjoyed that one. I'm like, no, but it's true. It's true. And it's just like people are only going to do what you allow them to do. And it is true. I'm sitting here just baffled that at the level of politics in Bermuda right now, that this is even something that can occur. Right? And I think this is why I'm so confused. And I said this when we, just brushed upon the topic over the weekend. And I started with this, like, no, help me understand why this happened, because in my mind, it's something that should never happen.
Mm-hmm.
How did it happen when we have so many members, from the PLP, and we did not have enough to start? But then not accepting responsibility. I teach my 6-year-old that when you're wrong, you accept responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been a simple, like, listen, we were wrong. This will never happen again.
Mm-hmm.
But to pass the buck like it's their fault,
Mm-hmm.
that sounds like I'm talking to my kid.
Yeah. And truthfully, adults, we have a problem. I mean, I just finished reading this book. I have that problem, had that problem at times, but as politicians, people who chose to be leaders, you got to do better. Let's go to the audience. We got quite a lot in the audience. And question is, how do you feel about politicians being absent from parliament? Sean Smith says, was that a silent protest against Bert or the bills before the House? Just asking. Well, this has come up, Sancha. This has come up. Was it a silent protest?
Why are we silently protesting at this point? We had an opportunity a few weeks ago.
Wow, there she goes.
Sorry.
No, oh, no, no, no. No, 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 no. Shorty Shields, one of our community members, says absolute slackness. They need to get their pay deducted for not showing up for work like normal people. Well, I mean, Sean, if I didn't go to work and just didn't show up after lunch, I'm sure there's repercussions, right?
Yes. And that's my next questions.
Mm-hmm.
What are the repercussions for the actions?
Well, again, this goes back to the people of Bermuda. We've got to stop operating like scared punks. These people work for you. They do jobs that you elected them to do. Let's be honest. You all marched for less when the One Bermuda Alliance was in power. What is wrong? Like, seriously, what is wrong with Bermudian people? Again, don't talk to me. I've been through the trenches and I'm still there.
Yeah.
Rick Olson, Sancha.
Rick Olson says the minimum wage has been discussed for years, and it is a farce as almost no employees will benefit in this age from hyperinflation. This could be the reason why this vote was ignored, i.e. a protest.
Okay, silent protest. I'm actually in agreement, and that's a whole nother topic, but I'm in agreement with Rick Olson on that. I think minimum wage, especially a lot of young people, think that minimum wage is great. And I'm just like, show me a country where it works. It hasn't worked in the US, right? But show me a country where it works. But that could be right. I don't want to get off topic, but he could be right.
But even if that is the case, I think that these things should be discussed, and you will need to do some in-house agreements before we start making these things public, and then we have situations like this if that was the case. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel, folks? How do you feel about politicians being absent from Parliament? Let's go through a few comments quickly. Traveling Trotty says all MP schedules are clear when the House meets. Apparently not, right?
They need to be.
Premier Bermuda said that day he's going to meet in private with the St. David's folks. So apparently his schedule was not clear. Charles H. Jefferson II says, you're exactly right, Sancha. Obviously, the sitting of the House isn't a priority for many of our elected officials. Angeline Butler says, actions speak louder than words, and no one wants to deal with the real issues that affect the island. Renee Simmons says, if the PLP abide by the rules, they wouldn't have given the insignificant 6 the opportunity to put them in the embarrassing position they now find themselves in. Accountability. The fact that the PLP are blaming the 6, right? Even if you are PLP to the bone, if you're PLP, like how, and this is what really makes me sick when it comes to MP Chris Famous, because conscious, well-meaning brother when the OBA was in power. But bro, your morals can't change, your ideals can't change. Right is right, wrong is wrong. I keep saying to you, this is why I would never, ever be a part of a political entity again in my life. When I registered in the US, I damn well did put MPA. that means no party affiliation. I cannot cloud my morals for political parties. Like if it doesn't align, it doesn't align. You all literally lose who you are for people who don't give a rat's ass about you. Well, Charles H. Jefferson second section.
Unfortunately, I do not think this is anything new. I think we had a live video feed of the House. It would surprise many, and allow us to hold our MPs accountable.
Yeah, yeah. Larry Marshall Jr. says, how many people will call their MPs and ask why? Well, there we go. Because again, remember, I said earlier, this is on the people of Bermuda. They're only doing what we allow.
It would be interesting to know who was actually there. Do we know who showed up and
Well,
who did?
I know there have been a few lists that have been shared of who was not there. Well, in the OBA, I believe 2 members were overseas for a conference. And then it seems like, and again, this is not accurate. This is just social media. 11 names that were not there from the PLP apparently were people who all voted against the Burt administration. So it was people who supported Renee Ming and Curtis Dickinson. That's according to social media. I'm not sure how true that is, though. Right. So don't take my word on that. But if true, it could be in protest. We don't know. What I do know is that Bermudians. Well, I was about to say Bermudians deserve better, but truthfully, we deserve what we put in. And if we don't put in enough, if we don't hold people accountable, then we get what we deserve. Travel and Trotty, we got to bring Maya in a bit. Travel and Trotty says, you cannot blame the 6 as 2 were overseas on official business as per the RG. There you go. And Shonda Shields says, lack of accountability breeds abuse of power. Politicians need to be held accountable for their actions. No show for work equates to no pay. And let's wrap it up there because we've got a lot more to talk about. We're talking about the TA fees after this. But folks, we've got to do better. We've got to do better. As Mark Arthur C. Phillips says, good morning, Jamal. Going back to my original point, we need to hold MPs accountable. I think the biggest problem, I read this on social media last week, and before I bring Maya in, I really want to say this, and I want everyone to close their eyes and think about what I'm saying right now. Bermudians, Black Bermudians, don't know how to hold Black people accountable. Let's bring Maya Palacio in for the news break.
Good morning, good morning. This is the Daily Hour News Break brought to you by People's Pharmacy.
Well, happy Monday, sunshine.
Hot topic today.
Yeah. It's not easy, Maya. It's not easy. Well, you know what? I cannot imagine being one of the few people in politics who really cares, right, and wants to do well, and then having to deal with this. Like I feel for those who really want to get stuff done, because truthfully, as Rick Olson said earlier in the show, the minimum wage is something that's been talked about forever. So there are people who probably just really wanted to get that done, and this stops work from being done. It really does. So accountability, Maya. I'm sure that you ever been on punishment. You seem like a good girl, but you ever got on punishment when you were young?
Of course.
Okay. And that was pretty much you facing the consequences of your actions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it seems Maya comes from a decent household. Apparently, our politicians don't come from a decent electorate.
Well, I just want to make a comment to some of the comments that I saw. One saying that if there was a live feed, I wish there was a live video feed of Bermuda's Parliament. Yes, we get to hear audio feed most times, but I just remember being away in university and being able to see everything. Everyone was able to, see the ministers, see what they were doing and things like that. Now, I haven't been to the House of Assembly on Friday mornings in quite a long time because I work on that day, unfortunately, so I don't get to be there. But I do recall the times when I was there. And I remember, like, you could see that sometimes they're on the phone. Some people are really attentive. Some are playing games. Like, it really depends. So it's like, if everyone could see this, and the attitude also changes, right? When you know that you're being visually watched.
Yes,
so
correct.
It would be great to have that. And I remember actually talking to the speaker, who's still the speaker today, about having something like that. And he was pretty in favor. Like, he wanted to move things up. So interesting to see if they actually lean toward that one of these years to have it.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that, because with CITV, we definitely have the platform. With streaming, we definitely have the opportunity to stream it. I spent a lot of time in the House of Assembly back when I was working in Bermuda, and I've seen MPs sleeping in there. Like Maya just said, visual will do more justice, and I think it would give us an idea of who we should be holding accountable, how we should hold them accountable, and why we should hold them accountable. So
yes.
Yeah.
And the last statement from the Gazette article, I read it as well, and at the bottom where I believe it was the PRP whip, and he mentioned how some of the MPs may have been at their other job as well, and that they only make a basic salary of $55,000. I was like, basic in Bermuda? That's still quite hard. That's more than half of what most people on this island are making. So, just wanted to put out that
Before
statement as
you
well.
make statements like that, maybe you should understand the people you represent and the challenges they're facing with salaries. I'd say that to the PLP and government whip. I'm sorry for taking you off, Maya. What you got in the news today?
Well, what I have in the news, well, last week, Jamel, you actually mentioned about the story on the Gazette of the police officer who was sentenced who will be sentenced in January after pleading guilty to a charge of intruding on the privacy of a female. Well, now the Commissioner of Police, Darren Simon, said that last night when they heard about the suspension, the day that they heard about the suspension, Darren Simon says that they do not condone this, and they do appreciate when the community does express their concerns and the advocates come forward to tell them how they feel about these things, and that this should have never happened, and that they just want to let the community know that they do appreciate the feedback and they do want you to continue to speak up about this, and that this should have never happened.
I just think sometimes we have to let due process take place, right? I think it's unfortunate. I completely agree with them. Why is this person still employed, whatnot? But I think we have to. There's a process. I think credit needs to be given to the police for going through a process. I just think there's a process. I know we get caught up in our emotions, but let the process take its course, and I think the public will be pleased with the result, whatever that may be.
Yeah, the officer has been suspended since October 2021, and also they did mention that he is the fourth officer in 3 years to be convicted of a criminal offense.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a good thing that they're cleaning things up or it's a sad state of affairs in the organization. But what I will say, I think either way, it's something we don't want to see in our community. What else you got for us?
Well, an update on MediWest. We heard last week that Tamara informed us that the environmental impact study was not required because the land is on industrial land. While on Friday, the Premier did meet with the concerned citizens of St. David's Group in regards to the incident in the cabinet. They said that they expressed their opinions, they talked, and the Premier said, I appreciate the candid conversation held with the members of St. David's community. This afternoon, we spoke for over an hour, during which they passionately expressed the concerns they have about the medical waste incinerator that has been approved to be built on St. David's area. Despite this being a private project, and despite the fact that all legal procedures have been appropriately followed, I understand the concerns raised. I will confer with the cabinet ministers regarding the issues raised to find a way forward that can best address the concerns of the residents.
Okay, question for you both. I remember Dr. Brown, he had a big march, all the unions marched against him when he was Premier, and he said, this is a true face of democracy. Premier David Burt welcoming these folks to come by. Here's my concern. Could you not have been had these conversations prior? Or is this a part of your program to make it look like you're listening to the people? You got what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. I'm not buying it. Anyway, that's not about me.
Well, we know they already held town hall meetings and none of the ministers that they invited showed up, as we already discussed before. So,
but that's my point. That's my point. It's like, we were busy then, but we have an open door policy. We'll meet with you anytime. It's different to me. And it's almost like it's going to be used someday down the road to say, well, no, we listened to the people because we met with them. No, but you didn't show up, player. Okay, I'm done.
I'll try to speed up the end of my news. But last Friday, Some frightening news as two males were apparently involved in an altercation on Northland's primary. The matter involved two males entering the school grounds around 3 p.m. and engaged in a violent act. Police attended the scene and the matter is currently under investigation. The Minister of Education, Diallo Bain, said, I wholeheartedly condemn any act of senseless violence. And I want to thank the Northlands teachers and parents who ensured that the students were kept out of harm's way. I'm sure this must have been a very concerning incident for the young ones. And he also thanked the police service for their swift response to the incident.
So hold up, and I'm not making light of this situation. So two guys just went on the property to fight?
That's what it definitely sounds like from the press release. It just says two males entered the school grounds and engaged in a violent act.
No further questions. No further questions. It's just odd to me. I mean, you couldn't have gone to a house across the street or something. I don't know. Anyway,
it happens. It happens. These kids, they know where whoever they're looking for is gonna be. You know,
it's one of those situations.
It could be. It happens.
Okay. Yeah. What else you got for us, Maya?
Well, my last on the news today is from Burn News. This comes from firefighters extinguished a bushfire in Devonshire yesterday afternoon. They're still unsure as how the fire actually came to be ablaze, but they did have very swift action in catching it and settling it down.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, glad there was no further damage. What's the weather looking like outside today?
Well,
the Sancha look.
Yeah, I just looked at it and maybe, okay, well, my glass is looking a little bit foggy right now. So it's saying weather cloudy with a few showers around this afternoon, and we got a high of 71 degrees Fahrenheit, which I think is the lowest so far that I've actually read out in a couple of weeks. So 71.
All right, what you got days of the year for us, Sancha?
Today is World Soil Day. Who would have known, right? One annual celebration people will be forgiven for not participating in, but I would say that World Soil Day is that sticky brown stuff that gets walked over into prized cream carpets. Sadly, it is the ignorance about the importance of soil and the degree to which people take advantage all over that it offers that have led to drastic reduction in the quality in the world. I don't think people understand how important it is for us to have like good soil for nutrients in our plants. And yeah,
you need soil to grow food, right?
Yeah, today is World Soil Day. Please,
happy World Soil Day, folks. You know, when these guys do this stuff, I actually go kind of read about certain, because it's literally a day for everything, and you don't understand the importance of stuff sometimes until you just delve a bit deeper. So I encourage everyone to go just do a little Google search. You don't have to go to get a encyclopedia or go to the library. Just do a Google search. Maya, thank you so much, folks. Before Maya goes, did you find my joke funny this morning?
Did it go over your head? Like
yeah.
I got it, and I was like, huh.
I was so lost. I think I was.
So to ice it to the yeah, I get it.
Well, folks, I just want to let you know also, some better news, and thank you to everyone who's actually tuned in. A lot of you joining there, but today is the first day where you can actually watch the Daily Hour live on thedailyhour.com, not the YouTube version, but the actual live right through our website, which for 600 and something episodes we've been trying to do. And today, December 5th, 2022, you can now watch the show live. We are working on getting comments live on the site as well. So I am happy. I am absolutely upset that I forgot to mention it to our TDH crew yesterday, but I'm sure they enjoyed finding out today too, right, ladies?
Yeah.
Wow, they didn't seem too enthused.
I could have sent the link to my mama. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wow. Okay. They do me, folks.
I'm excited. It goes to show the amount of work that is going in behind the scenes. I'm excited.
Yeah. Me too. I am. So hopefully we get some comments on there soon. Maya, have a wonderful Monday, my lady. And Sancha will be back. We're talking about the TA funds. How about that?
More great topics.
See you, Maya. All right, folks, don't go anywhere. If you appreciated the discussion this morning, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you share that. But we're coming back. We're going to talk about that TA form. Former Premier Michael Dunkley had some questions in the House last week, and we're going to talk a bit about what we found out.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's, I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dendy Town Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
All righty, welcome back to the big show, Sancha Durham. I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Folks, hey, yes, I'm saying it again. We're excited. Thank you. A lot of text coming through. Thank you so much. But yes, you can now tune in directly on thedailyhour.com on the website. So we appreciate you. However you choose to tune in, we won't be, saying but goodbye to any platforms right now. We just want to make it as comfortable and easy. We have had people who don't have Facebook pages. We have had people who don't have YouTube and don't know how to operate it. So what we're trying to do is just make it as easy as possible. The same way that you can go on a Royal Gazette or a Burn News, we want to make it easy for you to go on thedailyhour.com and just hit play and you're tuned in. So trying to make it as easy and as easy and as accessible as possible, because we know you want to hear from Sancha and Sherry and them. You'll just throw fruit at the screen and I'm on, but it's all good. Sister Sancha, real quick, we had a question on Facebook this weekend. I forget what it was. Let me go to there. Folks, if you're on our Facebook page, there was a question this weekend and it was asking it asked, which person are you? Winter vacation. What kind of winter vacation do you prefer? Cold destination up on the ski slopes or a warm destination on the beach? What do you prefer? Audience, let us know what you prefer.
Me? I'm sunshine all day.
Oh, really?
I've been trying to go skiing for about 20 years now.
Oh.
Never happens because the opportunity comes for me to go to Jamaica in some sunshine, and I'm just I'm out.
Yeah, I get it.
But I'm gonna make it happen. We're hopefully next year gonna do a ski trip.
Okay.
So, yeah.
As much as I've lived in cold destinations in New England and the Northeast, I've skated. But that was in the UK as a child. I've never gone skiing. And I was a daredevil as a child, but something about me and skiing just doesn't seem like it would end well. So I haven't done it. So I don't think I have a preference when it comes to a winter vacation, but I do like the idea of a winter cabin and just relaxing and doing nothing.
Yeah. I don't like to be cold though. I'm sitting here fajito on my feet. I do not like.
See, I prefer being cold over hot because I can always warm up. And I'm hot. I think a cot match. I love cot match, but man, I hate sweat. I sweat just sitting. If my fan weren't on, I'd be sweating. I'm
not a sweater.
Yeah.
So.
Let's see what the audience says before we get into the focus. Traveling Trotty says beach. Thank you, Aunt Karen. Congratulations. She says TDH viewing on your website. Ski slopes, Renee Simmons. Yeah, she's a winter one. Carla J, definitely a beach one. See, Carla, people, you live up in the cold, so you're probably one of those people. Oh, beach. Yeah, I got you. Beach. Paulie Rich says, Snow, Karen Simmons, Beach, Jerry and Richardson, and Cold, Tanya Achievement. All right, cool. So we got a balance there. I don't know. I'm a fall guy. I mean, I'm that guy that chooses right the middle. I just need that fall climate year round. Autumn. Give it to me.
Yeah.
All right. So there's another announcement. I must say. So I know some people have been asking another edition of Bermuda Trivia. Well, I believe it'll be in stores today. Bermuda Trivia Holiday Edition will be in stores today, and it's pretty fun. It is pretty fun. Really, really fun. And just want to send a shout out to my goddaughter, Jada. Rogers Ingerman. She put a lot of good work into getting those things out. So if you want to argue with your family this holiday season, make sure you get your Bermuda Trivia Holiday Edition. That will be available. You can go on bermudatrivia.com or follow on social media to see where it's going to be available. I'm just waiting on Mr. Photogenic to let me know where it's going to be. All right, folks. So we got to get back to that stuff.
Here we go.
Got to get back to that stuff. So let me go to Bermuda Real. Title says OBA calls on government to come clean on ResQuest contract on TA form. During the sitting of Parliament on December 2nd, this is from former Premier, Michael Dunkley. He says, I eagerly anticipated finally having the questions on the order papers regarding the travel authorization fee answered by Health Minister Kim Wilson. However, I was surprised and concerned that the first question requesting the minister provide the full contract with ResQuest as it relates to COVID services was not answered. This question was first submitted in September for reply, and for months, the government has been unresponsive. Today, that did not change. Why has it taken so long to answer? Is there something to hide? The people deserve to know as their representative in Parliament, and we have a right to access the information. The other two questions focused on the money raised through the travel authorization fee and the amounts paid to ResQuest. Parliament was informed that ResQuest received $4,362,655 between November 1st, 2021 and October 31st, 2022. It is likely when you add in funding received before November 1st, 2021, that the company has received over $5 million for a no-bid contract that is not available for Parliament to review. In October 2022 alone, ResQuest was paid $2,008,078. Minister Wilson was also asked if the early ending of the TA was subject to a penalty clause. The answer was that she did not have the information at the time. Can you imagine ending a contract and do not have the information? You are not aware of a penalty clause. Well, clueless people do and say clueless things, Michael Dunkley. But anyway, we're not here to go on about her. Question basically is for the audience. Why should the ResQuest TA form be made public? Why should it be made public? I just want, we did a poll. Let's go back to Instagram. We did a poll yesterday, right? And forgive me, Sanchez. I keep going back to Instagram. If you don't follow us on Instagram, you should follow us on Instagram so you can participate in this stuff. So we did a poll. Let me just 15 divide 17. So 88% people said yes. The question was, should the ResQuest TA contract be made public? 88% said yes. So question is, why should the ResQuest TA contract be made public? Why? Why do you believe so? Why? Oh, you don't want none of this one, Stanch?
I'm gonna let you go ahead, and then I'll let you know my.
Well, I'm gonna probably surprise you all, but I don't care whether it's made public or not. You know why? Because it goes back to what I said earlier on in the show. Michael Dunkley's in there doing the people's work, like him or not, right? But even if the contract's made public, what are you all gonna do about it? So I can care less. If people are just gonna moan and do nothing, what's the point?
Yeah.
What, you all marched, you shut down Parliament over the airport deal. And this is not about individuals. So I don't want to talk about Mr. Pitcher. This had nothing. This is a government made this decision. Be honest. Most of you will take the money if government's going to give it to you. Trust me, you would.
Mm-hmm.
I may not, but I'm a different kind of guy. But most of you would take it. So this isn't about necessarily requests. This is about the government, right? Making it public and not knowing if there's a clause to answer that, right? At the end of the day, personally, I could care less whether it's public or not, because Bermudians have already shown, you've already shown that you'll be mad about it today and forget about it tomorrow. You know, people used to always say about our censure when we were fighting conscription, oh, they don't get tired, and that, oh, that's still going on about that. And that's the problem. You all get tired.
Yeah. And we forget so quickly.
Yeah.
I think that's with everything. It's like, you know, it's here today and then tomorrow it's just like it's something else, right? You just kind of lose the fizz. But I think that the fact that it's actually a question, you know, that's one of the big, like, obviously there's something there. If we don't know, we don't have answers to, and that's a very good point. How do you not have answers to a contract that you've just kind of you've moved away from it, but you don't know whether there's any sort of penalties? And at this point, I think the big question, if we trusted in this whole process and we thought that there wasn't anything going on under the table, I don't even think this would be a conversation. But there are obviously red flags there. And I see it both ways. I think that sometimes when you're disclosing different contracts, I think it's not necessary and it shouldn't be disclosed, because I don't think everyone will understand everything that's in the contract. You're not going to agree with it, and it's going to cause bigger problems. But when you feel that there is a level of deceit, then obviously I think that there should be some sort of disclosure.
Yeah, I agree. Sancha, I'm torn, because the conscious side of me says I agree, and I think everything should be out in the open. But the real side of me says it doesn't matter. As Sam Cat Play says right here, you just said it. It's public, but nothing will be done. You're absolutely correct, Jamal.
Yeah.
You know, Traveling Trotty says, I would like to know if ResQuest is a private or public company. Why does it matter? What are we going to do whether it's private or public? See, what I'm doing this morning is really trying to challenge Bermudians. I'm really trying to challenge each and every one of us.
Yeah.
What will it take for you want better for yourselves. You say you want better, but what will it take for you to actually do the things that are going to give you the opportunity to have better?
Yeah.
Sancha and Jamal take risk every time they're on this show.
I was just going to say, like, I don't think people understand how uncomfortable some of these topics actually make. Well, I know for myself, like,
honestly, me,
us, like it makes us so uncomfortable. And it's times whereas, you know, we have these open, candid conversations, and I would be walking on the street the next day and I have these, you know, people coming at me, like, you know, challenging or agreeing. And sometimes when I kind of sit by myself, it's like, I feel like we put ourselves out there. You agree with us in what we're saying, but then will you stand toe to toe and fight for this cause? I don't think so.
But Sancha, you've got people who will watch this show and they'll text and they'll like and they'll enjoy, but they will never even comment in the comments because, oh no, I don't want to get involved. Folks, if your ancestors were like that, and mind you, some of you all's ancestors were, it's probably traits. But anyway, if all of our ancestors was like that, trust me, we would not enjoy the little freedoms that we do today.
Yeah.
The problem is we are a selfish people. We're selfish. You know, it's like I was watching the US news some months ago, and people were complaining about this law that was being passed or something, or trying to be passed about student loans, like forgiveness, right? And someone said, well, I lost a relative to cancer. And if they found a cure to cancer, I'm not going to say no, because I lost someone already. I'm going to say, you know what? I lost someone. I'm happy now we can save others. That's how we should look at it. The problem is we love to watch other people fight. I remember we had people, Sancha, saying, hey, man, I support you guys fight, man. I'm glad you guys are fighting for it, man. I can't wait because, you know, I'll benefit too. Like, we actually had people saying that to us.
Yeah.
Everybody's waiting on somebody else to fight their battle.
Yeah.
Why should the ResQuest TA contract be made public? That's the question, Central. We've got quite a few. Let's go through some of them. Jerry and Richardson and Teresa and Marie for you.
Jerry Richardson says circumstances are very odd. Sole source payments don't add up. Many attempts to delay answering. Ownership close to politicians. Yeah. When I was looking at it, I was just like, whoa, the payments did not make sense to me. But Teresa says public accounts audits outstanding for years might be the reason. If we cared enough to act, but we obviously don't.
You know, folks, I get emotional about this stuff, right? Because for me, it's not rocket science, man. It takes nothing. You know, we often say, hey, if you're watching the show, just hit the like button. It takes no effort. Like just boom, to show your support. It literally, and I'm going to use the Marshall family, and I hope they don't mind me always using them as examples. I can use Sancha, but her and I haven't had that private conversation. But I'm going to use the Marshall family. When you fight for things, when you stand up, I remember a guy saying to me years ago, yeah, man, my daddy said you guys are taking a risk, man, because, you know, he knows somebody who could have had it all. And this guy just about could hold a job because of, you know, he used to speak up. And I just said to him, your dad is raising a weak ass boy. So he wants you to remain quiet and just do as you're told, even if you see wrong. And you don't see nothing wrong with that? Man, throw your whole daddy in the trash. I just don't understand how people can allow what they know is morally wrong to take place before their eyes and be okay with it because they don't want to lose what they believe they have. Just think about it like this. If you fight against wrong, if you challenge it, right? Think about what you could have, not what you won't have, right? You may have better opportunities to succeed. But I want to say something. I'm going to wrap it up because you don't want to miss what I'm about to say when we wrap it up, right? Let me actually write my note down as well. Let me write my note down before I don't forget. I'm going to write this down. What I was saying, wrap it up. Not like that, folks. Get your minds up to God. OBA. Oh, you all think I'm lying. I have to write my notes down. I'm not like Sancha and Sherry and Larry and Phil. I can't remember stuff. And I'm going to mention something that the late Sean Crockle said to me when I wrap it up too. I'll mention it and it'll make sense to all of you. So stick with us. You don't want to miss this. But let's go through these final few comments before we take our final break, Sancha. Renee Simmons and Charles H. Jefferson II for you.
So Renee Simmons says, we should have transparency to see exactly where the funds went, disclose who are the partners but absolutely, I get you. We have a passive people. I gotta put my glasses back on, Jamal.
I wasn't gonna say it.
I know. Former Premier Dunkley did say he would be happy to have the opposition to view the contract in private to protect the confidentiality of agreement.
You know they ain't going for that. Jerry and Richardson says, I sympathize, Jamal and Sancha, even when I disagree, you're doing the right thing. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Sean DeShield says, the power is in voting out the irresponsible politicians who are in it for self-interest. Let's take a quick break. Come back. We'll wrap it up. And trust me, I wanna really speak to the conscience and hearts of people when we come back, because I think if I can share what I'm about to share, you'll understand probably differently, and you'll fight for yourself a bit more. So stick with us. We've got Daily Play coming up too. I got a good one for Sancha this morning. It's easy. So she might get it. So do not go anywhere. Stick with us.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security, there's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
All right, folks. Thanks again to One Communications, People's Pharmacy, Medical House, and Lindos for ensuring we're able to do this for you. If you appreciated today's discussion and daily focus conversations, please give us a thumbs up, love, like. Make sure you share these conversations because, again, we talk a lot, but we're not doing it as much. I used to love The Rock in wrestling because he said he was going to do something and he went and whooped somebody's candy, what. So, time for the Daily Play brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Remember, there's a new edition, the holiday edition. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Sancha, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Easy one, folks. Help her out because, those easy ones, how they are with Sancha. All right.
My head.
Yep, Maddox will be upset if you don't get this. All right, here we go. Not counting Rudolph, how many reindeer are there? Oops, wrong one. Wrong one.
Six? No? 9. So 8. 8.
Boy, she saved herself, folks. She saved herself.
I was thinking because it was, so 8.
It's 8, not including Rudolph.
I went through all the numbers, huh?
Well, I mean, audience done. Travel Charlie said 10. Parents said 9, including Rudolph, but no, Sancha got it. Maya got it. No, not 11. It's 8. 8. So Maddox, she saved your reputation, brother. She saved your reputation.
So Maddox has Rudolph ears and a nose on my car.
Aha! So we know when she's coming, folks.
I'll just send you a picture.
Whoa! Yes, please do. I gotta see this firsthand.
Effie the elf sent those too.
Oh, Effie the elf just balling, folks.
Funny guy.
Balling. Let's wrap it up, though. Final thoughts on the discussion about the absentees and the focus on the TA fee contract.
Today has been a lot of listening to try to understand, because things that seem so simple to me and so straightforward, as you can see, sometimes go over my head. And it's been a lot of let me listen to try to understand this to get I don't know, because it seems simple to me. I think to people like you and I that are okay, like we're gonna stand for something and fight for the cause. And I do understand that when I speak out against things, it's repercussions with that too. Like I have MPs that I've reached out to that won't even respond to me at this point, but it's fine because I see bigger and greater fights when I look at my kid, right? We have to say, for the betterment of Bermuda, we can't turn a blind eye anymore. Like we have to be in it to win it, right? And even I think that there's certain things that are hidden, and I this is just me talking. I look at the whole numbers that were given for the TA form. If we're saying that the biggest number paid out was in October, the $2 million, wouldn't it make sense that that obviously included the termination fee for the contract? But then you're kind of saying you don't know. I don't know, but I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but it just seems like common sense to me. And if you constantly are asking questions and you have people that are turning you like a windmill and not giving you answers, just come on, guys. We need to do better.
Honestly, I want to say this. I'm absolutely looking forward to the conversations for the rest of this week as we speak to an international executive tomorrow about workforce development. We speak with Cyril Witter about the impact of IB in Bermuda. And we bring on Craig Simmons, economist, to talk about investor confidence in Bermuda and also this mortgage program. So I'm encouraged by the conversations we're continuing to have. But I want to say this, and someone reminded me of this weekend. Remember, it was an article not too long ago. It was written some years ago of something that happened in Africa, and we discussed it briefly, where a man from Zimbabwe went and found a police officer that told him that his people would never have power, right? And he went and found this man. He said, "You lied. We have the government. We have this and that." And basically, long story short, he said, "No, you have political power, but we own this, we own that." And he was trying to get the gentleman to understand, be prepared for this day. Why do I say that? Stick with me, folks. Remember, I said I was going to speak to your heart and your conscience. Do not think for 1 minute Sir John Swan, the Gibbons family, even Michael Dunkley, who's still involved politically, did not prepare for the disaster that is what we're experiencing today politically in Bermuda. You see, on one side, there are people who want political control because they thought it meant economic prosperity. And on the other side, there were people who were prospering economically, who wanted politics to make sure that they had laws that allowed them to prosper economically. The late Sean Crocker, I remember him saying when the OBA came into power and he was tourism minister, he said, "We don't know how long we're going to be in government. So what I'm trying to do is put things in place that will last way beyond our time." That's how they think. The PLP has a very different, at least from the outside, the goals just seem different. And the goals seem like, get what we can while we can. Let's empty this well. And then when the day comes, when we desperately need to hydrate, there's no water there. That's what I see in the PLP. So while one group prepared for this day, the other group got this day and couldn't believe it happened for them. And it's because the public, as I said earlier, Bermudians, black and white Bermudians don't know how to hold the PLP accountable because they'll be called racist.
Yep.
Black Bermudians don't know how to hold the PLP accountable because they'll be called Uncle Toms and sellouts. Well, I'll tell you what, not one person in the Bermuda Progressive Labor Party can challenge me on racism, call me a sellout. They can't call me Uncle Tom, anything. You know why? Because they done more damage to black men in my lifetime than any other government. And proof of that is speaking to you right now. Sancho, you've got some daily inspiration for the people?
Ooh, Jamal, that was deep.
My apologies.
Sorry.
My apologies.
Yeah. Sorry, Jamal.
No, take your time. Take your time. Take your time. They're not ready to leave us yet.
Oh gosh. It doesn't matter who you are. Sorry. Doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. The ability to trump begins with you always.
Yeah, accountability.
Yeah.
Accountability.
You know who that is, Jamal?
Who is it?
You could guess.
Oprah?
That's on Oprah.
I told you she's a rolling quote machine, folks. Seriously.
It's on Oprah, and it's so appropriate.
It is. Honestly, I'm so grateful. Folks, we are, again, thank you for your continuous support. We are on our website. Yes, we're working on comments to be on so that you can comment on the website as well. Obviously, again, we're here to try to meet the challenges we face. We know that some of the audience of all ages, so don't just think it's older people who have had challenges with Facebook or YouTube or don't like social media. They love the internet. We want to give them access. So we're grateful for your continued support so that we can make those changes and allow people to view the Daily Hour on our website, thedailyhour.com. Thanks again to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She's Sandra Durham. I'm Jamel Hartman, my friends. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We are out. I haven't drank any of my water this morning. You guys got me talking. We're out.